everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rager, another episode of The Daily Ticket. It's from Monday, the 17th of June, 2024. I think it's safe to say that the Tiger season is officially over. Team stinks. I mean, they really do. Coming up in the future episode of The Daily Ticket, remember, it's 2 times a week until we figure out if we're going to die or we're going to live. I still have no news, no concrete proof that the Daily Ticket's going to continue or going to be canceled. So we'll just keep chugging along. But on Thursday's episode of the Daily Ticket, we do it Monday and Thursday, I'm inviting Patrick Caputo from 97 Won the Ticket on the Daily Ticket. And we are going to fight to the death. Well, the proverbial death. Because Pat doesn't believe the Tigers should trade Tarik Skubal, and I think the Tigers should trade Tarik Skubal now. Trade deadline is July 30th, and he better be dealt. Now, I know he won't be because Scott Harris and the Tigers, they're not tough enough to make that move. However, 2 years of control, timelines don't match up. Tigers are trying to tell you without telling you they're not very good and don't expect them to win anytime soon. Scott Harris already said they'll spend when the core's in place. They got no core here. Meanwhile, Tarik Skubal will never be more valuable than he is right now. And you can get a haul for him. And I don't think you're going to pay him long term. Now, Caputo will disagree with everything, and he'll call me a dumbass. And he'll simply say, well, Blake Snell didn't get all that much money, and he won the Cy Young, okay? He'll also say teams won't give up their top prospects for Tarik Skubal, a 27-year-old elite left-hander that could help a team win a World Series. I have examples of when teams gave up top prospects in their organizations, the so-called untouchable prospects. I mean, listen, it's not fun, but we are where we are. The Tigers aren't very good. You look at this team. It's Tarik Skubal, and that's it. Do you know what they are with Skubal? I wrote this down. This is wild. Let me give this to you. Tigers are 10-4 with Tarik Skubal. Without him, they're 24-33, 9 games under 500. He is legitimately the only good thing the Tigers have. Like, they want to tell you about Matt Vierling. Matt Vierling has like 150 batting average over the last 3 weeks. They want to talk about Riley Green. I think Riley Green can turn into a good player. I really do. They want to talk about Colt Keith. Jury's still out. I think he could be impressive. But they already paid him, so he better be impressive. This team, Wenceel Perez, Andy Ibanez, Zach McKinstry, Gio Urshela, Jake Rogers, Carson Kelly. I mean, it's literally a team of a bunch of dudes that aren't very good. They're not the dudes. They're just dudes. So Tigers aren't very good. In fact, it's kind of a miracle they were in it as long as they are. At the recording of this podcast, Tigers are 5 games out of a wild card spot. If the Twins win, they'll be 5.5 games out of a wild card spot. Last time I checked, they were up by a run in the 6th inning on the Oakland A's. So you got to trade Tarik Skubal because there are examples out there when you make a deal and you get a haul back, and that haul helps you hopefully speed up your rebuild. And if you're worrying that, hey, you never got anything for Verlander or Kinsler or any of those other guys, shady, that you went out and traded, well, Scott Harris didn't make those trades. That was Al Avila. And before Al, it was Dave Dombrowski. Before Dave, it was Randy Smith. So, listen, I know people don't believe in Scott Harris, but he's the guy for now, so you might as well give him a crack at the gig. And part of the gig is trading a guy that can help you more being gone than can help you being here, because he's essentially wasting his outings when he's here, because you're not going to win. You're not going to win anything significant for the next 2 years. Now, if you tell me like, hey, they're going to go out in the offseason and spend, and they're going to really make a run for the division in 2025, then yeah, you keep Skubal. But that's not the case, and we know that's not the case, so you trade him. Pat Caputo will totally disagree. So Thursday, we'll invite Pat on the podcast, and we'll duke it out. All right? All right. Let's get to the topic of this podcast, because I already gave you some of it. Tigers stink. They lose 2 of 3 over the weekend to the Houston Astros. Like, it's funny. People love the site, the wild card. Like, oh, you're still in it. Like Mark Ryan, who works at 97, won the ticket, heard him the other day saying Scott Harris has to make a move in the next 10 days or what? I mean, the market's not even set. Teams don't even start getting serious, I feel, until like early July. Deadline is July 30th. No move is going to be made. They're not going to be buyers. Nobody that you so-called buy is going to help this team. They're not a good baseball team. It's just pretty obvious. Yesterday's lineup, Winslow Perez, Matt Vierling, Mark Canha, Riley Green, Colt Keith, Gio Urshela, Akil Baddoo, Carson Kelly. These guys are not that great. I mean, some of them are fine and might play a piece in the future, but the majority of the guys that I just listed stink. I'm not trying to be mean, but they're not very good. We got to drop this facade that the Tigers are in some kind of playoff race because they're not. They're just not very good, and that's okay. But that's why you have to trade Tarik Skubal. But yesterday, they're finishing up with the Houston Astros. And it was Kenta Maeda, who also is not very good. Maeda stinks. Not trying to be mean. 5 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits yesterday. He did get hit with a comebacker, was able to stay in the game, ended up giving up a 3-run jack to Jose Altuve early on in that game. But he's not very good. Casey Mize is not very good. Reese Olson has not been very good his last 3 starts. He gets the go tonight. The only 2 guys that have been really good are Tarik Skubal, who lost on Friday, one explicable inning when he gave up 4 runs in the 6th inning on Friday night, and also Jack Flaherty, who's going to be traded. Like, they will trade Jack Flaherty, and you'll get what you get for him, and you don't throw a fit, as my daughter likes to say. So, again, they're not very good. But yesterday, what really pissed me off as a Tiger fan and as a baseball fan was the fact that, not that they lost, okay? I knew they would lose 2 or 3. And again, the Astros are a team that you're chasing in the wild card race. The Astros are a team that aren't very good. They're 33-39. You're 34-37. If you had to pick one of those teams to make the playoffs through the wild card, you pick the Astros because they have talent. They have Altuve and Bregman and Alvarez and Diaz and Pena. They got the Verlanders of the world. And they also have Ronel Blanco, who was a bullpen arm and is one of the best pitchers in baseball. So he's going against the Tigers yesterday. He's now 7-2 with a 2.43 ERA, 75 strikeouts, a whip under 1. I mean, just really good. Something that really pissed me off yesterday was the Houston Astros. Like, I love baseball. I do. I think you probably love baseball too. But baseball these days is so fucking soft. It is so soft, especially when it comes to starting pitchers. So this dude, Ronel Blanco, was hurling yesterday. Now, he's already throwing a no-hitter. Back on April 1st, Astros beat the Blue Jays 10-0. Blanco threw a no-hitter. 103 pitches, 75 strikes. It was his first career outing with more than 6 innings pitched. And he went from being a reliever to a spot starter to a guy that threw a no-hitter. So fast forward to yesterday, Blanco's back on the mound, and he's looking to no-hit the Detroit Tigers, and he was sensational. Now, he did end up walking 3 Tigers, but he was absolutely dominant. And the Tigers, because we've already gone over this, are not a very good baseball team. They did not have a chance at all. Blanco, 7 innings of hitless, scoreless, 3-walk baseball. He also struck out 8 Detroit Tigers. Detroit did not have a chance. So you're watching this game yesterday, and the U.S. Open is going on too. So I'm flipping back and forth between Bryson and Rory and Blanco, correct? And I will admit to you, I wanted to see the Tigers get no hit. Not just because I'm salty as hell because the Tigers never win, and I kind of feel they deserve it, and it pisses me off that for 10 years now the team has sucked. But I like baseball history. I've always been in love with the thought of a no-hitter. I always like watching no-hit attempts. So Tigers are down 4-0 pretty much the entire game, and Blanco is hurling. So through 7 innings, he's at 94 pitches. And he did get into a little bit of trouble, and there was a little bit of stress, and there was one ball that went to the third baseman, and they ruled it an error so the no-hitter could still be intact when it was really a hit, but whatever. 7 innings, no hit. So I'm getting all excited for the 8th inning. He's at 94 pitches. When he threw the no-hitter back on April 1st, he threw 103 pitches, 9 more pitches. His season high is 107 pitches, right? 13 more pitches than the 94 that he had. They yanked him out of the game. They brought in Ryan Presley, who gave up a freaking hit. 6 outs away from a no-hitter. Up 4-0. 94 pitches, 65 were strikes. Dominant, but yes, tiring for sure. You got a bullpen. The second he gives up a hit, yank him out of the game, bring in your pen, no big deal, no harm, no foul. They yanked him out of a no-hit bid. He could have been a dude to throw 2 no-hitters in an era where nobody even throws a complete game anymore, and they yanked him out. Like, what the fuck is that? Let the kid have an attempt at history. I am so sick and tired, and you might be watching this and saying, my God, why is Rieger freaking out? Because it pisses me off so much. They baby these pitchers. Like, I can deal with the ghost runner for the extra inning rule. I got no problem with the pitch clock. I can adapt and adjust as any rational human being can with the game of baseball or just in life. I can change people. But the one thing I can't stand, the one thing I just hate is when you baby these starting pitchers. And I know what you're going to say. Injuries that are an all-time high. I don't care. Entertain me. Am I really supposed to believe if you let the kid throw 20 more pitches, he's going to wreck his arm for the rest of his life? Like, give me a break. Are you ever taking Justin Verlander out of that game? Are you ever taking Nolan Ryan out of that game? Are you ever taking Jack Morris out of that game? Are you taking Orel Hershiser out of that game? I mean, stop it. Are you taking Clayton Kershaw out of that game? Well, yes, you're taking him out because he was taken out 2 years ago with a chance for a perfect game after 8 innings, and I lost my freaking mind. I can't stand babying these pitchers. And I know what you're going to say. Science is on their side. And elbow injuries, UCL injuries, Tommy John surgeries are at an all-time high. And that's fine. And I get it. Let the kid have a chance. My God. Now, I guess if you're a Tiger fan, you're happy they yanked him out because you didn't get no hit. Then they go for this combined no-hitter, right? Which is such a fake thing. Oh, combined no-hitter happened 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago with Matt Manning? A.J. Hinch yanked him out of the game after 6 1/3. 8 outs away from a no-hitter. And Tigers ended up getting a combined no-hitter. It was so special and so important that nobody even remembers who was involved in it because it's stupid. The combined no-hitter is stupid. It's dumb. It's idiotic. I don't get it. Give the kid a chance. At what point is it about the paying customer? At what point is it about history? At what point is it about legacy? At what point is it about entertaining your fan base? Baseball's already dying. I think we know this. People say it's too boring. Well, this is another reason why it's too boring. Yanking a guy out of a baseball game when he's got a no-hitter intact through 7 innings. There are things in sports that piss everybody off. Little things. It might not piss everybody off, but it might piss you off. It's your pet peeve. This is my baseball pet peeve. I cannot fucking stand it. I just can't. I can't do it. I know what you're thinking. A, why is Rieger losing his mind? B, it helped out the Tigers. Tigers ended up losing the game 4-1. They scored in the 9th inning. Anyway, I can't take it. Everybody wants to bitch about college football and NIL and the transfer portal and the expanded college football playoff. I don't care about any of that stuff. I can adapt to all that stuff and not worry a second about it. But there's something about not allowing a pitcher who's at 94 pitches to go for a no-hitter. Like, we don't matter in the equation anymore, people. Like, the fans don't freaking matter. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. So, there you go. If you made it through this podcast, I'm going to give out a code word. The code word is baloney. If you comment baloney in the comment section, I will know you watched this entire podcast and my rant did not turn you off. Baloney. Let me get to a couple quick comments from Thursday's podcast, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll see you on Thursday. So Thursday's podcast was all about Spencer Torkelson talking for the first time. Tork talked to Jordan Strack from Toledo and the Toledo Mud Hens. And I thought it was a pretty interesting, revealing interview. Here's what people were saying. At Ryan Guzik 361 says, need the daily ticket daily. Oh, thank you. We'll see if that happens. I mean, even if the daily ticket dies or gets canceled, I think I'll bring it back for football season. How about this? At user-DL9JK8FC8Q. You're awesome, Jeff. Has anyone ever told you that your face does not match your voice? No. What'd you envision? In your fantasies, am I better looking or am I better looking in reality? Let me know. How about this one? At High L NDR 41. Torkelson is worthless if he won't change his swing like the Tigers have asked him to. His last 4 games in Toledo, he's 3 for 16. Yeah, I don't know what he did over the weekend. And then one more for you. This is not a positive one. At D-Town Punk 77. Oh, it's Jeff Rieger. Skip and dislike. Sick of hearing this guy complain. Huh. If he didn't like Thursday's episode, he sure the fuck ain't going to like today's episode because all I did for the last 10 minutes was complain. He did not hit dislike, though. I didn't get any dislikes. All right, that's going to do it for the Daily Ticket. We'll catch you on Thursday. I'm going to invite Pat Caputo on the Daily Ticket. He's going to explain to me why I'm wrong about wanting to trade Tarik Skubal. We might yell, we might scream, pretty much exactly like you just heard. You're pulling a guy after 94 pitches. Like, fucking come on. Give the kid a chance for history. Come on. I don't know why it pisses me off so much, but it does. Oh, my God. Maybe that just means I'm getting old, which is a possibility because I am pretty old. All right, guys, catch you on Thursday. Hope you have a great week. See ya.